Going on live from the net right now.
Go.
3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? It is 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. East Coast time. This is the trades. Just waiting for y'all to get in. We have a great show, y'all, today. And if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you could go on Twitch and watch the same show from the other side. Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. I just, what was it? Just literally put it on. Twitch.tv/DomkeyLOZ. If you want to watch it on Twitch, there is the link. Let's see if I got that right. It's going to be a good show, y'all. Gonna start in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, let's get that countdown. "54 seconds.
What's up? My name is Chino. The press for the incredible burgers. I want to give a shout out to my man Flag.
30 seconds.
Rip that shit, Flag. Rip it.
We have a great show. And we are about to start now. This video has been brought to you by Break Connect. Go to the website and register. Check out what they have to offer at breakconnect.com. Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rockin' PROFOWON of the Floor Gangs and Knuckle Neck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, a show about breaking, hip hop, and the business of. What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing? A lot's been going on for me the last week. I can't really talk about too much, a lot behind the scenes stuff, but I just want to say thanks for everyone that tuned in last week. We had Tamal from Carry the Culture, and we talked about his time coming up in the 80s, and at the same time, his position on hip hop and even the new hip hop. And we're talking about the music side. And because he's a journalist, he has his Instagram called Carrying the Culture. And again, you can check that episode right here on the PROFOWON channel on YouTube. Another thing is, 2 weeks ago, I did a review on the B-Boy Network. The B-Boy Network reacts to PROFOWON, and I did the USA Finals for Red Bull. That was a really great show. You can check that out on the B-Boy Network channel. So we have a really great show today. A lot of similarities. We're going to talk about this online life. But before I do that, I have to clean a little house. So first thing I want to say is 85% of you is watching the content, but you're not subscribed. Now, I'm almost to monetization. Like last year, I actually hit over 1,000 subscribers, is what's one of the requirements for YouTube to be in the partner program. But the other thing is 4,000 sit hours. I'm basically at about 2,800 or 2,800. So I need some of you guys to kind of subscribe so I can get into the algorithm get out there and get in the bandwidth so that way people could watch it, the views go up, and the algorithm will keep feeding it to these people, and it helps the channel. So why not like this video, subscribe, and share it? Click the bell to the top for notifications. All right. So thank you very much for getting me there. The other thing is I want to give a shout out to the sponsor, ZenWorld, ZenWorld CBD. CBD is part of the cannabis plant, but is not the psychoactive part like THC. The thing about CBD, it has a lot of healing properties, right? So from ZenWorld, I have two products that I currently use, which is the ZenWorld Nano Drops. You put this in your drink, you put this on your sports drink, your water, your coffee, because the main ingredient, CBD, what it does, it takes down inflammation. And inflammation is the first thing that actually gets inflamed, and that's what clogs all the pathways and gets you sick. So what CBD does is like it relaxes that, right? So especially someone like me that was 48 years old, still trying to do air flares, and I get jammed up, CBD helps actually heal it. Now, if you don't want to ingest it, you could always use the topical roll-on. Now, CBD freeze. Now, this works like an icy hot, but again, it is the active ingredient, CBD. So while it's massaging your muscles, it's going to heal it too, not just the massages to heal it. You could heal it. So again, you could go to the website, go to zenworld.com, enter the promo code PROFOWON, and you get 10% off these fine products. And why not save money while you rest, regenerate, and recover? All right. Now, here's the thing. There was a lot of people I've had on the show, but there was only a very few I could kind of like relate to as far as this online thing. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss today kind of that, this new thing with, even though this YouTube thing has been around since 2004, 2005, 2006. There's a different thing going on right now where it's like we're actually engaging in podcasts, we're engaging in long form, right? So this guest is not just a dope b-boy, but he's really engaged into this online live stream community. So my guest today, we got my man representing Lions of Zion. We got b-boy Dom Key.
Whoa,
What up, Dom? How
yeah,
you doing?
hey. There we go. I'll
What's
clap,
up, man?
I'll clap for myself.
There you go. Yeah, I don't do the sound. You know how some
That's
people
okay.
have the soundboard
I'd
stuff?
rather you not have the soundboard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want the Don DeMarco, Marco.
Yeah. No. We don't need that.
No,
It's
no,
completely
no.
fine.
We don't need that at all. I'm glad. See, it's funny because now you relate. Now it's like usually when people are on, we're just talking about breaking. But then when I say stuff like that, like
Yeah,
you're
man.
like, oh, okay, I get it.
Listen, life's too big to just talk about breaking. All right.
So okay, before we get into the like obviously you got the setup. Let me do a backup shot real quick, just because I like it this way. But look at that setup.
Oh, sorry.
Look at,
Yeah.
you got the mic and everything.
My camera's zoomed out right now too. So no.
Yeah.
It's, it's normal. It's just the
It's
mic.
cool. It's cool. I
You
have
got
a
like
cheesy.
awesome stuff in the back.
I got my LEDs. Just like I gotta look different, man. I gotta look some type fancy. You know what I'm saying? So, as we chat, I tend to, you already know, running a live stream, I tend to play Jamie and Joe Rogan at the same time. I'm curious, like, so here's the thing. You still live in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
are you still out there?
I'm in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing, like, as I traveled and stuff like that, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, the East Coast kind of had a certain style.
Mhm.
But for what you and Zach did, you guys more approached it from, I don't want to say the West Coast, influence. So why don't you get into that? Was it the West Coast? What were your influences to have your breaking approach different from your traditional Philly b-boys, and b-girls? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So technically, when I started, like, I'm not technically from literally Philadelphia, like the city. Like
Okay.
I'm from the suburbs, right? And there's always a weird like thing that happens with like Philly b-boys were mad that like we were representing Philadelphia, And not all the time, like, was it like like, we weren't going to a jam and being like, yeah, we're representing Philly. I'd be like, I'm representing Levittown. And the promoter would be like, where's that at? I'm like, it's kind of near Philly. And then they'd be like, okay. And then they just put me down for Philly. But, you know, that was like one aspect of it. But two, like, I grew up with all the like Philly, like, everybody in Philly that was like the OGs. Like, I grew up with them. Like, I practiced with them. I started like when I was 12 years old, and like,
Oh shoot.
I had like one of the guys who lived with around us in the suburbs. He would drive us to the practices in Philly. So like, I was like, my mom was scared for me going. You know, she's like, "Where are you taking my son?" And like in Philadelphia, like, we used to go practice. Actually, the first spot I used to go to was a place called Kumquats, and it was like, yeah, I know it's a name. And
Interesting name.
it was like right in an alleyway, like near South Street, and it was actually Zine and Cricket's like spot that they lived there, and they had like a dance studio like right under them. So that was one of the first spots I ever went to, and that was like when I first started seeing like Cyclone from Step Fiends, when like Step Fiends were like before like X Fiends, and like I, you know, Sessa, Hussein, like all them dudes like all used to practice there. So like, I grew up with like battling and practicing. Like, maybe I wasn't like super close with them, but I'd see them like most of the time of me practicing or breaking. So like, we always were like, yeah, maybe we don't live literally in the city, but I was raised by the people from Philadelphia. Like, I lost and I grew up like battling and learning from most of these dudes in Philadelphia. Like, I got a lot of my motivation from them. Like, I mean, there was a lot of people in the city as well that were like, man, these kids, like, they're only doing it as a fad. I remember like 2 years into breaking, like, we heard like some of the like older guys in Philly being like, oh, these guys aren't taking it serious. They're going to be done breaking in like a year. Wait until they get a growth spurt. Like, you're not going to be able to do all this power anymore. And I just always took it as fuel to the fire, man. I think I've always been on like a revenge streak of my breaking. Like, I like to prove people wrong, and I think that like really pushed me to like where I'm at. So I mean, yeah, it might sound like it's like crap, like it's like shit talk or like a bad growing up, but I don't know, man. I really enjoyed it. I give a lot of respect to them guys for like what they taught me and what I learned from them. But anyways, back to the style thing. I think Zach's was a little bit more on that whole like, a lot of people looked at him from the West Coast. Not a lot of people talked to me that much about my style being from but it was definitely different from the East Coast, like normal style of like New York. And like, because I remember like I growing up where there was like this big difference of like the West Coast and the East Coast. Like, it's more traditional, more foundational, like traditional style over on the East Coast, when like the West Coast was more focused on like the bigger, flashier type of styles. And I never really got it for myself, but I know Zach's got it a lot. When he was doing it like bigger than like anybody was doing it really on the East Coast when it came down to like people noticing him from the West Coast, because and I don't know if, because I was so new into like breaking, I don't know if it was like more of a like they were pissed that he was doing West Coast style, like type flexible, because it was like Zax and Suitcase from Breaks Crew that were doing
shout out Suitcase.
Yeah, like they were doing like the flexible style shit over here. And I know like it over here they were big because no one else was doing it. Zax and Suitcase were like the first dudes over here like really going like leg over the head like type of shit.
Yeah.
But I know like a lot of people were like, again, like he was the like Trigonometry 2 he was flown out to.
Yeah.
I know like people were just like talking about him a lot on the West Coast, and like he was definitely a bigger name like when I first started like growing up.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously that he played a influence on your style. Am I correct about that? Like as far as like, you know, your approach and stuff?
Zach's no.
No, oh sure.
No,
okay,
no.
so
like me and Zach,
because you're still doing like kind of like different-ish things, right? Like you're still like, you know.
I think my style was basically my style was basically a melting pot of everything I liked. So like like a lot of like technicality and like connecting with like texts and like transfers. Like I got a lot of inspiration from Ronnie. Flow wise, I got a lot of inspiration from like Abstract, but then it's like it wasn't just like a couple people. It's like it's like huge. Like little tiny things from people that I liked growing up. That's why I don't really have like, oh, he's my inspiration. Like, dude, almost the entire scene was my inspiration growing up.
That's tight, though.
Whatever I liked, like I always was like, dude, like I want to be, like I need to be like that. Like Rocksroy being like as clean as he was, I was like, this dude never messes up. I gotta be like that. Like I don't want to, you know, like I just picked and pulled on pieces. Like Dizzy from Supernatural's, like the way he did footwork and like just little pieces that he did inspired me to like just go off and like kind of just take what he does, flip it to my own way, and like it just comes out as something completely different. It's just a big like melting pot of everything. Like when I was really young, I was really big into like building like Legos and Transformers and like building like robots. It was like kind of like nerdy shit, but I was really big into like dissecting and knowing how things were done. So in breaking, it kind of almost took the same approach of like looking at different dancers and taking pieces from them and building my own like style from it. So
that's cool. No, and that's what's dope is that like you know, because I mean, it's different now, right? Like these kids are different, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, it's like because even though it's the same thing, right? We could take from everywhere, but obviously when I watch you, it's like I know that's Donkey, right? There's no I'm not confused on, you know, it's anyone else because it's just like you'll take, you know, and you know, there's a few b-boys like Minnesota Joe that tend to do that. Who else is there? I would say Joe because he stands out because he really does a lot of different things with the foundation he has as far as power.
Yeah, he's like very well rounded, and he has a good mind. I feel like his mindset's almost exactly like mine, where it's like he has a good mindset of understanding what is different and what like he can piece together to still make the structure of breaking. Like
yeah, and I think that's dope. I think that's what you share with them. And so okay, so you started at 12. Wait, how old were you when you were 12? Wait, what year was that when you were 12?
99. It was like I was 12 or 13 or something like that.
Okay, 12.
But
okay,
I know I
so
started
99,
around like 99. Yeah.
Okay, word. All right. Okay, so I could see like, you know, like Ronnie's starting to come up. Rebel BC won 2004. He won. So you know, you're coming up with a style. You come up with Zax. You come up with this a certain original style, and then talk about how you got into Lions of Zion. Right, because your first beatwax, right?
Yeah. So I went through like I don't know, your normal like what you do when you first start with like the kids from your neighborhood, like like all of them quit, but you keep going and you move to like the next crew, like but beatwax was like probably my first like bigger crew where we were running shit for a little bit,
right?
And then I started battling with toys like a lot, like in like well, we had an expo against each other. This is back when people used to do expos all the time. And they said, that's another, I'd like to talk about that a little bit too.
Dude, okay, that's good. Yes, we're going to talk about that.
But I, like, you know, that time, like, me and Toys were like kids. Like, we were the young kids, like, doing good. So they're like, yo, we want to set you up at this. It was Hot Import Nights. This one car shows used to have, like, battles. And
yo, shout out to Hot Import Nights.
Dog, I have so many trophies from Hot Import. Me and Toys.
Shut up, really?
Yo, dude,
that is hilarious, bro.
I have trophies that are literally taller than. I mean, it's not much. I'm like 5 something, but it's like tall. Trophies are taller than me. Like, yeah, man, it was crazy. But anyways, I got set up in an expo against him, and that event, we're just like, yo, let's just enter 2-on-2. Like, let's just run the event.
Oh.
So we entered and we won it. And he lived in Maryland at the time, and I was like, and I was around Philly. So I would travel up there and we would just battle together. And then I don't know, it's probably like a year of battling. Dude, I don't know what it was, but like something snapped or we just started like going off and we were like I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything, but yo, Maryland area, like we were like destroying, like running through it. Like to the point where like one of the, like we went through them like 2 years straight. And this was like GMU jams that they used to have. And they used to have them like, I don't know, like once a month or like once every other month. And the next year they were just like, okay, so when you win one, you can't enter another one until
they had to change up the rules. Then you had to change up the rules just because like you guys kept winning, right?
Yeah. We were like, dude, it was, I mean, I felt bad sometimes where it's like, yo, maybe we should like chill for a little bit. But we, there was one jam called Crafty Bastards. It was in DC. It was a 2-on-2. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm just going to enter myself. Why not? If I win, I win. Probably not going to win. It's Maryland. Like, there's a lot of good people here. I won that jam by myself, and the winner won 2 tickets to anywhere they wanted to fly to in the U.S. for a jam. And back then, like,
Oh shoot,
flying like wasn't really like
right,
nobody really did it that much as they do today. So I
right,
was like,
yeah,
cool, man, let's take advantage of it. Like, let's go somewhere big. We're like, what's a good 2-on-2 that we can do? And at that time, B-Boy Hoedown was like
oh word in Texas,
big.
yeah,
Yeah. So we're like,
yeah,
we haven't been to the East. Like, let's go over there and see. Like, if we're doing good over here, let's go over there and like test ourselves out. So we went over there. We won B-Boy Hoedown. We beat like El Nino and Lego in the semifinals, and we beat like
shoot.
Free and Orb in the finals. And
Oh
then
dope.
I remember like sitting in the back. So Toys and Ghosts and everybody were like pressuring me that like 2 years before, and they're just like, "Yo, man, just join LOZ, just join LOZ." And I was like,
Right.
nah. Like, I'm trying to just stay with my own crew, like Beatwax, like that. And after that Hoedown event, I remember being in the back office. I was like, dude, I'll be honest, I like barely even battle with my crew. I don't really, because at that time, like, we were going through some shit with the crew.
Right,
And I was like, I don't really even like see them dudes that much anymore. Like, dude, I'm just gonna stick with you guys and do LOZ. And we're like, yeah, fuck
Cool.
yeah. And then I went back and like Ghosts and Scrambles and them had like t-shirts made and shit.
Oh, shout out to Ghost.
Yeah, they're crazy, man.
Shout out to Sonny.
He's still doing the club shit too.
Oh, obviously, man. That guy last time I was there, he was like still wild about it.
Dude, yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was probably like a long time coming, but it happened.
Word. Yeah, okay. So you do the Lions Design thing. And for me, I think one event that really stuck out to me with you guys was Freestyle Session 2012, right? Where you guys battled
Skillbrat
Renegades.
Yeah,
That's you guys. I feel like that was like something that like was like kind of like, okay, we're like, because it was you, Isaiah, and
Mario. Yeah, it was Mario. And at that time, it was like Mario was like our newer guy in our crew. Like, he wasn't like new at breaking, but he was like the newer guy in the crew.
Right.
And I just remember like going up there and like, yo, we got this. Like, I was cool. I was like, yo, we did what we did. Like, there's nothing to feel like shitty about. Like, we got the skill.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that event was like something big, I think, for like all of us. I mean, especially we never got to go to the West Coast that much. There's something about like, I mean, I feel like it's even like today where it's like not a lot of the East Coast guys always go to the West Coast jams. It's usually like,
dude, yeah.
I feel
recently,
like it's like, and it's like we're kind of like, I mean, I know it is far of a trip and everything, but that's why, like, in BC1, like I would have liked to see like the West Coast versus East Coast things happening, but then brackets were like all the West Coast was on the left side, and then like all the East Coast. It's like I'm trying to watch East versus West like in these battles, like
right.
But
yeah, no, that's crazy because so like let's see, I'm gonna find that clip actually, but the whole thing is like you guys when you guys battled Skillbat Renegades, you guys looked different. That's what was dope about because Isaiah was like already killing it, but I think because that was just like at Staples, right? Like it was at the Staples Center. I mean, it wasn't whatever, but it was still kind of like, well, this is considered Staples Center, and you guys like again, man, like with Isaiah's like flexibility and with the stuff that you're doing. It made people go, okay, what's going on in the DMV? Even though you're not from the DMV,
yeah,
right? Like so you said that some people were upset about that battle, or you were just more like happy that it was just a good. Because right off the bat, the first thing I think about is that battle. When I think about that freestyle session, I think about that battle.
Yeah,
if anything,
I thought it was a great battle. I'm just saying, like, I think like Mario being like a new guy in the crew, he wasn't upset or anything, but we're just like, yo, man, like, be hyped that like we got this far in the battle. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, you made it like this far into the competition with us, and like we're like, we still did great and everything. But that's just like a little side thing. It's nothing like serious or anything.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, it was. This is dope, and I mean, yeah, this is fresh. Like just a little bit. It's just right on your part too.
Hey, look at that, right on it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I just feel like I think something that has always been like, especially with the LOZ guys, is like creativity and like originality. And
Yeah,
it's something
yeah.
like that you were just saying. Like I just had a conversation about this earlier today, where, with like a new, he's not new, but he's like, I guess like newer, like bringing up like, oh, you're like, I was telling him like, I don't think we'll ever get back to what we had in like the 90s and early 2000s of like individuality and creativity, where like there was no rules, there was no like you have to dance this way, because when you told somebody you had to dance this way, they were like, I don't give a shit. Like
Right.
coming from something with Circus Runaways, Freak Show, when you could watch somebody like Circus battle somebody like Machine, and the style differences were like night and day. I don't think we're ever going to get that contrast of styles again, because I just think of the way that breaking is today, there's more structure to it. And I think, just being honest, it's not to rag on New Gen or anything, but I feel like a lot of, I know they're all in the Discord right now like this mother. But
this is good. I like it. Keep going. I like this.
I think people are honestly afraid of being criticized a little too much, where it's like, yo, that looks weird, where it's like, fuck, if it looks weird, I don't want to do it. When like our generation was like, it looks weird, we don't want to look like anybody else, so we'll take it. You know what I mean? Like we'll flip it to make it look a little more b-boying, but like weird is good. Like weird is not weird, not like weird, but like different is what I mean. Like we didn't want to look like anybody else. And I think today, I'm not saying everybody today, there's so many good dancers. Like you can watch my streams. I talk good about like 90% of the people. I'm just saying like there's a lot of like staleness where I'm just like, oh, I don't know what you're doing different from this guy. Like I can't tell you the difference of it. I think a lot has to do with like really letting go and being a little bit more creative. And signatures was like another big thing, where it's like, I don't see signatures today either as much as I did when I was like first starting, where it's like, I could watch Little John and I'm like, yo, doing his signatures. Every round was like a signature of his. When today I'm like, yo, flare, air flare, baby, tombstone, halo, baby freeze, get up, some basic footwork, and then do a handstand to the accent of a song and everybody goes crazy. And I'm like, what did you do? Like, but people are like, yo,
you just said it.
Yo, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like to me, and a lot of people like from like my generation is like, it's basics. Like that's basics to us. So like when I see it, I'm like, yo, you're extremely good at doing what is given to you, but what are you giving back? I think it's a lot of take, and not a lot of like giving back to give inspiration.
All right, so I'm a big advocate for this, right? Because we'll get to our discussion at Silverback in the bus with Wealthy, but I don't know if you're aware that there's this kind of underground scene going on where they're actually not going to the bigger events, and it's like smaller events. Like there's this whole scene happening.
Oh, see, that's dope. I think that needs to happen.
And it's like it's actually opposite of everything you're saying. Like
see, dude, that's where I want to like. Okay, so that's another thing where it's like people ask me like, yo, we need you back in the scene. We need you back in the scene. It's like, I don't want to compete with that stuff. Like I'd rather be competing with what you're sounding like, this underground scene of like letting loose and just going off. Like,
I think it's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
I've been following it for the last year. It kind of organically happened. I'm not going to shout out anyone that does it, but it's H Crew anyway. They're dictating the market actually right now, because they're not even going to bigger sponsored events.
That's dope.
It's smaller events that are actually getting bigger. And it's these kids that are all under 28. Most of them are under 28. So, and it's just, they're more into the creative side of things.
And that's where it's
I mean, they look similar, but their attempt, because this is what happened during the pandemic. After the pandemic happened, and it was like breaking for gold and this and that. Yep. And they just saw that they don't want, even my boy Carl Paoli calls it, it's like, there's going to be such thing as Olympic style check box breaking.
Dude,
and it's already happening.
That's what I'm talking. That's exactly. I didn't want to like say it because I was like, somebody.
No, I say it all the time. I say it all the time. It's okay.
I was like, some newer like WDSF person is going to come in here and be like, hey man, I'm fighting for that Olympic. Like I honestly, like I've been seeing it for the past probably 2, maybe more years now, and I'm like,
Yes.
it's to me personally, it's stale. And and it's not saying they suck, but it's stale.
No,
to me.
no.
Like they're
but the
great,
thing is,
but
yeah.
But
the thing is, I always look at it like this, right? It's like I was telling some of these kids that are part of the underground now, and kind of woke them up, that the thing with breaking right now, it's like skating, which is like there's Tony Hawk in the vert, and there's Stevie Williams, who's a street skater. The problem is that all the press goes to the vert, and the vert is big moves, right?
Yep.
Like, and even Tony Hawk said it himself, is like, style. I want to do tricks. Like, and you know what? More power to him. But then there's the other side of skating, where it's just street skaters, a bunch of kids in the corner just grinding off of sidewalk.
Yep.
And that's all they're looking at, these little details, right? It's not this big stage thing. And I talked about this for years. These kids actually started organically, inadvertently, they started where it's like, well, we're going to go to the smaller events, and we're going to do what we like to do.
Yep.
And we like the style that we like. And we want to be, they're not going to see everything that it's not going to necessarily talk to the Breaking for Goals or the Red Bull BC ones or stuff like that.
Yep.
So I applaud them, because I'm like, you guys are crazy, because we used to complain and still go. You guys will actually not go.
Yeah.
Else.
No, that's what's up. Like, that's sick. That's super dope to hear. Actually.
And I push them. I'm like,
I'm like,
predicted you guys.
that's motivational to hear, actually, because it's like,
yeah, dude, if you showed up, you would have. And the thing is, they care about the experience of the event. That's another thing. They wanna feel like it's not just they're sitting around for 10 hours waiting to go up.
Yeah,
they want to feel something, you know, like
exactly. Yeah, and it's like, I know people are like, "Oh man, you're just a boomer," like talking about how breaking was
you're
back
a
in
boomer?
I've been called a boomer.
You're
like,
a boomer.
Sons of bitches, like, no. But I was like, I'm like, yo, man, it's like, it's not me saying like, yo, the scene's whack, like blah blah blah. I'm just like, it's different from it's obviously different. This is an evolutionary dance. It's gonna change, and where it's at right now is kind of stale compared to where I was at generations ago. And it's like, it's fine to like be, I don't have to agree with everything you're saying, but I'm not saying like you guys suck. Like, there's a difference. You got to agree to disagree at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like, it's not
a fool. Like, you're talking that if you're a boomer, then what am I? I owe Jesus a quarter. You know what I'm saying? like, but so that's the thing. What I think. So and this is where we're segueing. So, and I'm going to toot my own horn. I am going to toot my own horn.
That's fine. I tooted my own horn earlier, so you're good to go.
So basically, I've been saying this, and I've been recently a lot of podcasts, hip hop podcasts too, like hip hop, like straight up, and it's guys that are 50. They're like, what? They say the exact same thing you say, which is crazy. They say that when I watch breaking, they do a gesture, then they do some power moves, and it's over. I'm not feeling it. These are 50-year-olds saying this, so they're actually kind of like boomers ish, but I say, well, have you heard of this guy? Like, I'll send them a video of Jared and Canaris at Doom Room, a footwork battle. They're like, who are these kids?
Dude,
they're dope. Yeah. I like what they're doing. I go, exactly. You didn't know where to look. The problem is you're only seeing the same media that covers breaking. Yep. So you're going to see just what we're talking about, the names, the guys who won, and the highlight clips are going to be that. That's why when I do like a Provost pick, it's like they're not necessarily going to have, they might not make it to the finals of BC1, right?
Yeah, but that's fine because somebody needs to, point them out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
that's my point.
I do the same thing when I post up people too. Like, I think there's better people that don't win events than there are.
100. 100.
Yeah,
dude.
like I mean, and that's not taking away, like, sometimes they win, but I think like the people who majority win, like sometimes I'm like, dude, I like, it's cool. Like, I think you're a good b-boy and everything, but I much prefer rather watching somebody like Canaris or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it depends with like your mentality of breaking. Some people are, again, like in the Olympic competitions wise mentality versus like, do you want to just break the break? And it, like, you come back to that question of like, people are like, oh, like, when do you know you made it in breaking? And it's like, nobody has made it. Nobody has made it in breaking. Like, there's like, if there's people that would think like, hey, making it as a BC1 All-Star is making it. I'm be honest with you, I do not think that's fucking making it. Becoming a BC1 All-Star is not making it to me. I started this shit when I was like 13, 12 years old. There was nothing to come out of this. So there was nothing. The only thing on my mind was getting to respect the people that inspired me, talking to the OGs and learning from them, and that was it. Besides that, my whole mentality of competition-wise, get to the best competition in the world. BC1. For me, it was BC1. It was the biggest one-on-one you could get to.
Yeah, you were on that stage. Yeah, you were on that stage and everything.
If I make it to the World Finals, and this was back in like 2004 when BC1 just first started, I was like, a goal of mine, competition-wise, get to one of the biggest competitions. After that, what other competition is bigger than that you can get to? Right. I don't really know any other. At 2012, I was like, I made it to the World Finals. Do I need to win it? Nope. I'm happy where I'm at right now. I'm like one of the, like, some people will never get to experience that,
100.
So it's like,
100.
I'm happy. I literally met almost all my inspirations. I talked to almost all my inspirations. I've gotten feedback from people that I would have never thought in my entire life. Like, there's certain people in my head that stick out that I'm just like, dude, I can't believe this guy. Like, there's a couple times where like PROFOWON was talking to me, and I just remember being like, dude, is this guy really talking to me? Like really? Like, it's crazy. Like, shit like that is so motivational, which is why I think it's important for like people that, like, whether you're an OG or not, like, yo, you got to be like some sort of motivation to like the younger kids, and like giving them a simple like, yo, man, you ripped it today. That's sometimes is good enough motivation to really push people past the limit. So
100.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to too, because if there's such thing as like, I call it the vert, right? These big stages are the vert. And like a Tony Hawk philosophy was like, I don't care about style, I care about tricks. And that's what it is. Cool. I'm not gonna hate on it. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's imbalance in media, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So why I do a Profos pick, it's like I always compare it to, like, in the 80s, there was these skateboard magazines, and there was Trans World Skateboard Magazine, which was considered more cleaner cut. This guy won this big competition article. And then there was Thrasher, which was like more punk rock, more street, more. And so I'm like, if everyone else is Trans World Skate Magazine, I'll be Thrasher. And
that's what's up, dude. Like, that. I think the scene needs that. And that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, because at least there's no balance. It's just, it's this thing, the guy who won this versus, or the girl that won this versus like this guy. Just the way he moves in a cipher is so dope, and let's cover him type shit. So now we're gonna go to that, I think it was 2015, and it was me, Wealthy, and yourself, and we were in the shuttle at Silverback Open, and I started talking about, hey, there's gonna be this one time where it's gonna be all online, and then people are gonna get noticed for it, and then get farther because they're online. And I think you and Wealthy looked at me crazy. You and Wealthy were like, what the hell?
Part of me was probably like, this guy's crazy. But then in the back of my head, I was probably like, he's probably right, though.
And I mean, it's happening.
I know.
I predicted the first guy to come out of that was actually Nico Castro. I think, he would do okay in competitions. And then he started doing his 365 post every day. Then after that, he started actually passing the prelims to when it gets to finals now, because it's just because of the visibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So then, speaking of that, because now we're talking about media, what made you want to start a Twitch stream covering events?
I think.
And what year was that? What year was that too?
I think I started the Twitch streaming. Like, I always thought about it in the back of my head, but I didn't start officially until like 2020, I think. Or 2020.
Okay, so it's been like 3 years. It's been about 3 years.
Yeah, but I definitely took off for like a year.
Right.
Because like I just ended up getting burnout, because here's the thing. Like,
okay. Zoom up on Donkey's face. Here's the thing. Go for it, man.
No. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's burnout after a while, right? Like, you're watching like the same people over and over and over and over and over again, and you're just like, there's always so many times that I can stream it like within like that week. But the way I got started was, I basically, when you're at a jam, right? Like, you used to go to jams all the time. Well, I mean, not used to, but you go to jams all the time. And while the battle's happening, like, for a fact, it's not just me, everybody does this. Battle's happening, you're sitting there, and you're like, talking shit, or not talking shit, but like, you know, like talking about the battle, going back and forth. And like for me, like at the jam, like that was probably the like the one of the highlights is going to a jam, chilling with your friends while a battle's going on, be like, yo, look at this dude, he sucks, or something. That's
I am very different than you, Ed Smurf, but I'm very scientific. Well,
okay.
You know,
I'm not saying like
but I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was like just the conversation of watching the battles with your homies, and it was like, you know, you're just like having a good time. And I was like, yo, like we have a platform now to do this on. Like, if I could just watch battles with everybody online, we can all talk together and say whatever we want, right? So I figured I'd just stream and watch battles with people, and like, let's just chill and talk and just talk about the battles. Like, give some insight. If you know, if anybody ever has any questions about breaking, like, I'm always open for it. It's like that's an. I feel like people are like afraid to like talk to me sometimes or something. Yo, man, I don't want to like, you know, talk, you know, hit you up in the DMs or something. Like, dude, it's always open, man. I'm not like a dickhead. Like, I'm not like, sorry, bro, gotta go do some 6 cents or something like that.
I gotta do some flares, man. Get away from me, kid! You bother me. Like,
you know, you're joking about that right now, but I know a lot of b-boy egos tend to get in the way with that sometimes. Either way,
I mean, bro, like, you know, and we were talking a little bit, like, a lot of stuff has happened to me just recently, just because I put stuff out there. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I won't go into too much detail, but I'm just saying, like, but okay, so you did it 2020. Did you take a break? What, 2021 or 2022?
I think I took a break 2022. I started in 2020 and then took a break in 2022 because, yeah, dude, I covered literally every single BC1 event that year. Like, even had like BC1's like reps, like whoever was the rep for them. I was like, yo, man, like, I'm letting you know, like, I'm getting, like, copyright strikes from BC1. Like, is there anything we can do about this? And they're like, yeah, don't worry. Like, I got you. And, like, I got on, like, the whitelist or whatever it's called to be, like, allowed to, like, you know, do it without getting a strike. Because, like, but that definitely faded out because probably, like, 2 weeks ago, I streamed, like, somebody wanted to watch Menno versus Blonde in a BC1. I did this whole stream. It's like 2 hours long. I watched one battle. They took the entire fucking stream offline.
Wait, so I mean, it's not just copyright claim. They're like, take it offline. Like, they pull it.
Yeah, the video's blocked. I can't.
What?
Yeah, it won't show. I mean, on Twitch it will, but not on YouTube. It won't show.
Okay, wait. All right, so that's what I'm saying. So that's another thing. Like, if for those who are tuning in right now, for all 7 of you, shout out to C, shout out to Kurt Rage, shout out to Papa Rick, shout out to Pluto 7, shout out to the Great Peel Podcast.
Hey,
you know, the thing is with Twitch is that it stays on there, and how's the copyright things over there at Twitch?
I haven't gotten anything with that. I heard from what I know is they'll hit you and you won't even like. They're just gonna hit you out of nowhere, and they won't even give you like a warning. They're just like, "Yeah, buddy, what are you doing?" And I don't know if they'll give you a warning or not, but they'll. I heard people have been like booted off of there without any warning, so it's like,
oh shoot, okay,
possibility that I could just get booted.
Right.
I don't know. I'm taking my chances. It's not like I'm making money off of it, so.
Yeah. So So I'm going to ask you because I have no followers here, or I have no subscribers here. Well, no, 1,600 or whatever. How many subscribers do you have in Twitch?
I don't know. I think I only have like 800 or something, or like 700 or something. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Twitch.
I thought you were like.
No. Dude, like.
I was like, yo, 20K for Dom Key.
No, dude. Like Twitch. I mean, it's the thing. It's like not a lot of people watch Twitch that break because it's like you have to sign up for. It's not as easy as YouTube is, where you can just go on YouTube. You don't need an account or anything for it.
True.
Like YouTube, you can just click subscribe and you're good. Like Twitch, like you got to make an account, and then like how often are you really going to use that account? Because it's mainly like for gaming, like. I don't really expect that much on like Twitch or anything like that.
Really? I mean, I tried. I actually did try, and I was like, this is hard.
Yeah, it is.
I really tried. I was like, this is hard. So, because for those people that know, I started in Facebook, right? It's 2016. The trades was originally on Facebook. Then I switched over to Instagram, 2018. Stopped the trades around 2020, and I just during the pandemic I just got into my workout bag, and then 2022 I knew a bunch of YouTubers like, you should be on YouTube. Oh, that Great Pill Podcast, shout out to you. Yeah, you should be on YouTube. And I was like, I already do this. You know what I mean? I already do it on Facebook. And I was like, well, shoot, let me just transfer to YouTube. And it's been going okay. You know what I'm saying? It's been going okay. And like I said, it's not so much about the views right now. It's more like I need to document these things. Like, you know what I mean? I have to document these interviews. I gotta get different perspectives because no one else is really doing it. I mean, we can count on our hands how many people have like kind of a podcast show that revolves around breaking.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Okay, there's you, but you're not even on YouTube. You're on Twitch. There's
no, I'm on both right now.
Oh, you're on both.
Yeah,
You'll go live on Twitch and then upload it to YouTube.
No, it's like live on YouTube too, I think. But
okay.
You're
like simultaneously.
Yeah. But
got it.
It's like I honestly, to be real, I probably have. I guess I have more subscribers on YouTube than I do Twitch. But it's like, Twitch until I get Twitch I was partnered with at the end of 20 when I stopped, so I wasn't streaming on YouTube by the end of that. But now it's like I don't have partnerships with anybody anymore, so starting fresh back up. So I'm like back on both.
That's cool. And what's your? Hey, send me the link because I'll put it in the chat, or you can put it in the chat too as a link to your YouTube. So now that we've talked about Twitch, and I thought you was like 20K, but I just noticed that you're doing it, and I thought it was dope because like I said, I'm not really into the competition thing as far as this because like who am I going to compete with? Like I'm just more like happy if people are doing it, you know what I mean? Because there needs to be more representation of voices in breaking besides actual breaking. You know
yeah. I mean, I see like I don't expect a lot from breaking in general on social media just because if we look at like Red Bull BC1, right, and they're obviously probably the most popular source of media for breaking, like because people that don't even break are going to watch BC1. They're going to subscribe to watch breaking stuff. And they're not even at like 1 million subscribers. Like when you have like there's people that I don't even know on YouTube that I'm just like, who, like, this is my first time seeing you, and they have like 4 million subscribers. Like, and all they do is like talk about like random shit. I'm just like, if BC1 isn't even at 1 million yet, I don't plan on being anywhere near anything.
We're super niche. We're a super niche, super niche thing, a super niche genre.
Yep.
But I still think it's pretty dope that you're actually out there covering type of stuff. So now that we're talking about that, this is the now, right? We're doing something that I feel like next year, if the Olympics hit hard, we'll be kind of in a good position, right?
That's what I was thinking too.
We've already been putting out content. You know what I mean? So where do you see the future in it? Like, how do you see it? Do you think how big do you think it's gonna get as far as media, and where do you see yourself in it? The hard question. I'm being honest. I honestly don't know. I would like to say I feel positive about it and it's going to be bigger, but I don't think I'm going to really get a gist of it until after the Olympics to see like how that is responded with. Like if it's like, if breaking doesn't make any noise, because I feel like the Olympics is going to at least push it into the limelight a little bit for like media, for like people that don't break. All right, let me get interested in breaking. Let me start going on YouTube or Twitch and like watching some breaking stuff. Cool. Yeah. But if nobody is interested in it, this is where we're at right now. Like I don't know if it's gonna get bigger than where we're at right now. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Unless sponsorships start taking hold of breaking, I don't see it going any bigger than we're at right now. You know what I mean? Like just because I think Silverback gave so many opportunities to like for sponsorships to jump in and be like, yo, check out, like they did a lot of stuff like reaching out to sponsors and being like, hey, check out breaking. Like, what do you think about this? Sponsorships. And we ended up with just Monster, I think, from all of it. Uber helped out a little bit. I think
Jack in the Box does stuff now too, right? Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to C's and the Vans.
Shout out, Season's the best. yeah. There we go. That's what I needed.
Vans, right?
I needed this that weekend. Right in the middle of this interview.
Yo, shout out to C's, man. He's about it.
No, honestly, C's is probably the #1 promoter I've seen, and I don't know how long. I've seen more in like the Vans like promo in the past 2 months than I've had of any event, I think, in the past like 10 years. It's everywhere.
Someone's listening. Someone's listening. Someone's listening.
Wait, who? Who are we talking
No,
about?
I'm just saying.
Oh.
These kids are. I've been preaching this forever, though. Like I said, I've been preaching the social media thing forever. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
it's probably every day I hear about it. I'm not gonna lie. It's almost like an ad on Instagram that like pops up and you're like, why am I seeing
without
this
having an ad? Isn't that great? Without paying, like that's good. Shout out to C's.
Yeah, C's, good job, man. I'm not even kidding you. That is the third time today that I've seen of advertising. I saw like I think like somebody posted up. I think Rick's or somebody posted up today on their stories, and I was like, yo, are we really like, am I seeing ads still right now? And then it just happened again. So there you go. That's probably, you deserve a raise if you're getting any money for promotion of this.
Yeah. No, and I mean, that's the main thing I think, that like, you know, I'm seeing the power of, and like I told you, like behind the scenes, I don't want to talk too much about because I don't know what the outcome is, but then there's a few things that I'm going to work on to pick up this ship and stuff like that. So, all right, let's play a hypothetical. What would you like to see in this? Is what Focus asked me when I was on his podcast when we did this similar thing. He was like, "What do you see different in the show in the future? What would you like to see? What would you want to? What are some of the heights you would like to do with your show, and what would it look like?"
Yeah. Again, like
hypothetical, whatever you like, you know, let's say Nike said, Donkey, you're gonna be a spokesman.
I mean, I would like to be at the jam. Like, okay, remember what you guys used to do with Silverback? You went to the show and you guys would, dude, I would like to do that, to be honest.
Okay.
That would be dope. If I got to go to the event, watch, and then, you know, we're on the side, like, doing some commentary. Not some, like, oh, my God, George, look at them windmills. Like, not, I don't mean like that.
What are you talking about?
Listen, that
shout out Candy, shout out to Scribe out there in the UK.
Yo, Candy is, I'm actually happy Candy is like doing commentary. Like when I heard that she was doing some of the commentary that when I was watching, I was like, thank God. No
Scribe, Manny from UK, he did the Portugal one recently.
Yeah, I think we need people that are involved in the scene to be there. I get like people wanting to be like, oh, we need professional sounding people. I get it. Like, I understand. But at the same time, it's like, you need people who understand what's happening. Because like, you're telling people what, dude, the one guy said like he was doing a head something. He called it something so ridiculous. And I was like, this is why we can't have this. Because now I'm
that's why we can't have nice things.
I'm gonna go to a jam. I'm gonna do a head side, and some like grandma's gonna be like, "Oh, he's doing the head squibby squabble," and I'll be like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, there has to be some sort of like knowledge involved with like, you know, with commentating. You have to have some knowledge. People doing other people's moves during a battle, like, oh, well, you know, this move was done by this guy before. You know, not call him a biter or anything, but just getting like a history of like why stuff is happening. Because I'm going to say this now, like, there's probably if there's no commentating with the Olympics, there's going to be a lot of people that are confused as to why a head spin doesn't win against somebody that is doing some like footwork. Like, so I think, I think there needs to be a, like, I don't know, it's hard to do it too, because you don't want to be like, you know, interrupting the battle and being like, guys, this is why this is better. And this is what, like, but I don't know. Yeah,
I think that's what we did when we did Silverback. When me and Art did, and me, Art, Candy, Susie did Silverback. I think Daniel's style of directing and how to do commentary is a good template. And so far, and that happened 5 years ago, and people are still saying that was the best as far as like.
And
commentary.
Then you guys like took people that were in the battles and did like interviews. Like, yo, that's honestly what I miss about Strife TV when like. Strife TV was, well, when Stance was Strife TV back in the day, was like, I miss the seeing interaction with the dancers. I don't just want to watch dancers dance the entire time. Like, grab them over, like, joke with them, like, have conversation with what were they thinking during the battle or something for like a break. Like, I miss that type of stuff, like watching it, you know? So what you guys are doing was like, that's probably the way it should be, you know? At least in my mind, that's the way it should be.
I think so too. Like, you know what I mean? Hint, hint. Anyway. Hint, hint. Yo, Atomic Goofball's on the thing.
Oh,
Yo,
Goofball.
that's a Strife guy right there. Atomic Goofball is a Strife guy right there.
Atomic Goofball is a Strife guy. We were all Strife guys, man. Daniel was that. Honestly, I owe a lot to Daniel because he put a lot of the DMV guys like on because he was always out there and like he always showed us love, man. And he was super nice. He was always down to like joke around and have a good time and film. Like, yeah, it was super dope.
Yeah, man. So I mean, okay, you would like to see commentary, and you doing commentary. I can see that. You know
I
would
like to. You know, it's not like I'm like. If I don't make it, I'm like, shit, I didn't make it in my life. But it's like, if I had to do something to stay involved with the community, if I wasn't battling, I would like to be at the jam still and like chill with people and like talk with people and talk about the battles.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope, man. Well, we're an hour in. I don't know what else can we. I know this is really bad on a stream. Like, what else can we talk about? Because the thing is, you answered a lot of the questions that I had. You know what I mean? And for me, I think, and this is just for everyone listening too. It's just like, I mean, not everyone could speak in front of the camera, right? It's not easy, right? Some, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of people hold their tongues too when they go on because they're afraid of like a promoter hearing something and they're like, I can't say something bad about this promoter because they're not going to fly me out. And for me, I'm like, dude, I've probably been to your jam already, so I don't need to get flown.
You're more. That means I'm definitely more politically correct than you. Yep, I hold my mouth a lot. All right, hold my tongue. Fly me out, guys. Fly me out.
You can call me a boomer or whatever you need to. All you want.
That's crazy. Do people really call you boomer?
I got called a boomer today. I did.
Today, like literally today.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
Holy crap.
It's fine.
For what? For just what? You had an opinion about something?
Yeah, because we were talking about creativity and being an individual. And I literally, what I was talking about earlier and how I said, like, how the late 90s and the early 2000s, I don't think we'll ever get back to that individuality and creativity again because we had no bars, no boxes that we were really tucked into or anything. And then they were just like, that's a boomer take. Look at this guy who's so creative today. And they sent me like Lee from the Ruggeds. And I was like, dude, that's like one dude out of like the entire scene. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the Discord. What's up?
Yeah. See, I'm a boomer. Guess what? I don't got a Discord, guys. You guys can talk. I'm sure there's
that's fine. That's actually better. Just stay away from the Discord. If I had to be honest, stay away from the Discords. They're just bad.
Nah, man, I gotta give a shout out to all you guys because you guys are the ones like running the scene right now, man. You guys are running, they're running the scene. And like I said, and C's could talk about this. Shout out to Kurt Rage who's watching, everyone. There is this, there is the H Crew kids. They're doing stuff. And their movement, and they're again, because I don't want to be, holding my tongue, but these kids are they're ruling the scene out here anyway. They're ruling the scene out here.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I actually enjoy. I think I brought up probably it was like right after BC1 where we're at right now with the newer generation is probably the best I felt with the newer generation than I've had in I don't know, years, because everybody seems like they care about the community and they care about the way that breaking is going, So I don't know. I just think sometimes people get a little touchy feely, and I'm like, guys, it's not that big of a deal. If I say this new generation isn't as creative or individuality as it was in the late 90s and 2000s, I'm not knocking this generation. I'm just saying it was a different time and this dance evolves, I never am gonna sit here and be like, this scene's whack. I wish I could just go back in time. I don't care that much about it, man. I think, I think what the new gen is doing right now, I
don't want to go back in time. Well, actually, but not for the same reasons for breaking. The skill level wasn't that good, but I like the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I like the vibe. Yep. You know what I mean? But I think there's all these possibilities, and I think again, I'm gonna keep saying it's the media part. And we are the media at this point. Yep. I think we're in the beginning stages. We're starting something new. I think you are. That's why one of the reasons why, because not just in your breaking, you shout out to Joey Chaotic, right? We talked about Chaotic earlier, but he's more like a real Twitch streamer.
He's in real life.
Go to a practice. I'll just give commentary if I happen to go to an event
exactly
and talk about it, but only if I'm at the event, because I'm going to do the same thing if I'm in a coffee shop.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yep.
that's Joey Chiara. Like he's a Twitch streamer that happens to break.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
While
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yep.
while
Yeah.
you're more like I go on Twitch to specifically talk about breaking.
Yep.
And and I know that, like I said, like shout out to Smurf, shout out to what else is there? Shout out to Flea Rock. He has a channel. I don't know if he really goes live stream and stuff like that. But me, you, Smurf, and then B-Boy Network. Now I'm doing stuff over there. I might holler at you about that too. B-Boy Network reacts and stuff like that, where we're actually we are the forefront of this new media, of us controlling the narrative in media. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think it's a good look, and I think that's to me that's the future. And we I'm not gonna say we need more of it, but we need more active participants, like people in the chat, like that. And I think it's gonna happen. I think more people are gonna like long form eventually. Maybe not right
I
now.
Hope so. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Now I hope people start to get like interested, but also it does come into the like the long form has to be kind of like entertaining for people as well.
Yes.
Like, I do understand like listening to somebody's like beginning sometimes ends up getting dragged out sometimes, and you're like, get me to the juicy stuff, the good stuff.
Yeah,
or like, I understand it from time to time, because sometimes I watch interviews and I'm like, all right, next question, please. You know what I mean? Like, like, I do think like it is a must of like more people need to be a little bit more active on, doing stuff like this and highlighting people that aren't seen in the scene. And that comes back to, which reminds me of like the exhibition battles. Like I don't...
Oh yeah. That's the thing that I wanted to bring up. So like, is that something you would like to see come back?
Yeah, that's what I think we need. Like, I think the scene needs exhibition battles, because here's the way I see, like, especially for me, like growing up was like, you dance a lot, you get noticed, right? And from that notice, somebody's like, hey, you're doing really dope right now. I want to set you up against somebody else that's really dope, right? And nobody's really seen you guys. Maybe the city's seen this guy a lot, but they haven't seen you. Like, I want you to come out and dance. That puts a spotlight on this, on yourself that hasn't been seen. You do really good. I mean, shit, even if you do really bad, it at least gives you motivation, right? It gives you that motivation to be like, yo, I'm doing something. Like, I'm taking a step up. Here's my expo. After that expo, it's the same thing as you were talking about with like Nico, like getting shine on like social media. It's like you're noticed now. So you go to like another battle. You go to like a battle to like enter. And the judges, like, it's shitty to say, but like the names sometimes will matter with judges. Like,
I would say this: it's not the name, it's the visibility.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the visibility, because the problem is, and this is why I brought this up at Silverback 2015, because there was 900 people that entered.
Yeah, dude.
So,
dude, there was people...
And if everyone's scoring a 7.
Yeah.
What's going to be, it's the visibility of the names that get same score.
1,000% of the visibility of it. Dude, I'm not going to name names. I watched a big B-boy crash his entire round, and he still made it. And I was watching kids killing it all night, and I'm like, yo, how is this like fair? At the same time, I'm like, you do have 900 people, and it's like, dude, when I was
a prelim judge, so I know.
Oh shit, like, really? Dude, yeah. I've judged in China a couple times.
Oh shit! There you go. Dude, oh my god! And you have to look at Chinese character.
Yo, not only that, but it's like, yeah, you have, dude. I remember the first time I judged in China, they were like, yeah, there's 300 101s today. I was like, 300? I was like, no, it can't be 300. It probably just meant 30. And I sat down and they gave me the list, and I was like, yo, we serious right now? Like, holy shit, dude, it's crazy. It is crazy over there. I'm sure it's still like that too over there. I haven't been over there.
No, I think it's worse.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I think it's more. I think it's more. It's not just 300. I think if you go to a bigger event, you're gonna have 1,000 101s. Easy.
That's so insane. I don't even understand that. That's crazy. But yeah,
because it's that big there. It's easy.
I think the expo's like, yeah, it plays a part into like growing up in like getting noticed, like helping people get exposure. Like, it's just part of it. Like, once you get that, not only is it part of it for like you noticing new talent, but it's like also part of it for like that person to get motivated to continue to go bigger. You know what I mean? Like, it gives you that motivation. And like you said, with the visibility of like, oh, like, I'm judging, I know you just did an expo against my homie last week. Like, this guy has to be at least good enough to get the expo. So it has to be good. Like, So
Right.
yeah, I do see like I think expos need to come back because they play a big part in like helping out the community and the exposure and just getting people motivated.
That's dope. Yeah, I never thought about that too. But I think that's a good idea because yeah, you don't, like I start to think about there's like from time to time there is one, but
Yeah, yeah,
not in
yeah.
like, shout out to Pluto 7. He said, Rosamos, Papa Rick says maybe a good time to
Oh,
resurrect Rosamos. I mean, like,
dude, I to be honest, I'd like to see how many people could go 10 rounds.
bro, 100 because exhibition battles are like 5 rounds right now.
Yep. I mean, yo, who can roast the most? I remember like I took who can roast the most battle. I was like 10 rounds. This ain't no like, there's I think also that too. Somebody was just talking to me the other day about like what's the difference between a competition battle and like a cipher battle. It's like, dude, they're night and day. It is night
Yeah.
and day. One, you
Yeah.
can strategize. Like competition wise,
Yep.
I can strategize and like be like 2 rounds, 5 rounds I need for the entire battle.
Yep.
Fucking easy
Yep.
peasy. Cypher battle, dog, if you come out doing a competition round against me, you know what the first thing I'm going to do? One easy ass round of top rock and you're out of breath and I'll wait for you to come out the second round and then I'll start going a little bit harder at you. But
There you
it's a
go.
whole different ball game. And that's the other thing
Yep.
about like people being like, yo, man, you just like run sets during competition. You just do set. It's like, yo, I will never speak on somebody's breaking until I see them in a cipher. If they're running
Right.
sets in a cipher, I'll be like, yeah, you don't know how to break besides just running sets, which is like, whatever,
Right.
do what you got to do, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
like say anything.
Yeah.
But like for me, like, yo, I strategize during battles. I know how to take a competition wise. When it came to
Right.
ciphers, you would never see me running a full like round in a cipher. Like I don't
Yeah.
break like I do in a competition. It's like
Same here.
yeah,
I don't
it's
break the.
it's
Yeah,
just
I don't break
totally
the same.
different. And I don't think enough people understand that there is a split difference between a cipher and an actual competition where they think like,
Right.
yo, man, you're crazy. Like, I'm going to do a couple rounds with you. And then I don't do like a competition round. They're like, where's the BC1 Dom key at? And I'm like,
Where's the BC1 donkey?
yeah. But
Watch BC1.
yeah, go watch BC1, man. Jesus Christ.
There
But
you go. I exist right there on your phone.
That who converts the most, I took as like a split like cipher / like I know I'm only doing 10 rounds, so like, but yeah, who converts the most was fucking it's rough.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely done that. Definitely done Rosamos. I had fun that one. That was
Yeah,
fun
it's
training.
fun. It's definitely fun. It's a good time.
I say someone, I mean, I don't know, Papa Rick's, maybe, will you do it? Maybe you could talk to Bebe, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's right. Pluto 7 and C set they're talking about the Marlin battle.
Oh, dude, I
Marlin-
heard about this.
Yeah, I guess Squints is not or what's his name? Is that, am I saying Ritual Warfare? Wondering if he's doing a limited release, I guess, or maybe is he
shit.
doing pay-per-view style?
Trying
Like
to
he
watch
won't
that.
release it?
I would like to see
Because
it.
it basically happened, right? Like it basically happened. So I don't know if he's doing that. I think he might be doing the break free model of just like maybe you have to pay for it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Someone,
like you pay, like,
someone,
$5 to like watch it live.
yeah, someone in the chat. Let me know if that's true about Ritual Warfare. If he's charging it for like just like a pay per view type thing. Let me know if that's the case.
Junk from Korean Rock organized it, but it's exclusive dropping via Junk's channel. Oh.
Oh, okay, word. I see.
I mean, that's fine as long as I can see it. I mean,
someone send that link in the Discord.
Man, I'm trying to watch that, man. But yeah,
I want to stream it.
I heard about it, and I was like, somebody posted it in a Discord. I think Lobsters posted it in like one of these Discords, and I had to like double look at it. I was like, wait, like, is this old footage?
No, it's new. No, they've been promoting it online.
Like, oh shit, dude! Like that's so dope. I want to see it so bad.
That's dope. I think here's another thing that's different that's shifted. I think, okay, if I'm wrong, chat, let me know. I think Cross has decided not to live stream Freestyle Session this year.
So, how do we watch it?
You gotta be there.
Man, what?
Yeah.
Yo,
I think that's the case. That's what I hear. I think because he wants copyrighted music. He wants.
Okay.
I think he wants.
I can kind of understand that though. Like,
I think he wants to like bring on the classics as far. I don't know. And if I spoiled it, sorry, Cross. Like,
I think it's. I understand from that standpoint. Like, but what's the goal here? Like, what are we trying to? Is he trying to make money off of like streaming it or like?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just again, I think these underground kids have put a dent in a lot of things.
Uh,
You damn underground
yo,
kids.
I wonder where are these underground? I'm trying to like chill with y'all. Like, hit me up.
They are all over. They're all over the
Profo's
place.
making
That's the
you
thing.
guys sound real cool to me right now. And
You guys are
I
cool.
feel
You guys
like
are cool. What's
I need
great,
to like start chilling with you guys. And
dude? You should actually start. Okay, these are the events that happened this year that packed the house with no support. It was the new birth anniversary in Portland, 4th of July in San Diego, 808 Breakers. That was a that I they go to that. What was the other one they went to? I forgot. I'm missing one. Something. I'm missing one. I'm missing one. But these are three events where they all just kind of like mobbed up and just went.
dude,
And these are the events that are not supported by like a sponsorship company. These guys
yeah.
are, it's homegrown stuff. It's homegrown.
Well, I've seen like on my stories like recently like some events that are like popping up with like not only is it like the events look good, but the marketing that people are doing for these events with like the photos and like just like people are like talking about like how the events were like afterwards, like that is dope. I'm hearing more good stuff about them type of events than I am about
But now you're talking about the underground. These are these kids.
So you're
Do you know what I
probably
mean?
what you're talking about is probably something that I'm interested in, and I'm like, this is
You
dope.
should and cover it. Hey, cover it.
Yep. Yeah, I would like to,
And
man. Like I would love to like go back.
Yeah,
like,
Versus was a good one. Versus Papa Rick's, yeah. Versus with Steven and them. Theirs was really dope. I'm missing something. I know I'm missing a few events that and it's just like, and I would just watch them and I'm like, why is this crowd so hype?
dude.
And it's like
I think I just watched the Elephant Graveyard versus somebody at an event, and I was like, yo, honestly, watching Elephant Graveyard, I was like, I'm more hyped to watch these guys than fucking any kind of like bigger like
are they part of the underground?
Oh, maybe.
Are you guys part of the underground?
That's good. If they're part of the underground, guys, send me an invite. I'm trying to chill, all right?
Hey, someone send them to Discord.
Yeah, you got
the chat.
You got my approval. I don't approve of a lot of I don't approve of a lot of people, but I approve of you guys. Whatever scene you guys are running with, I'm with you guys. I like your technicality, all right?
Yeah.
A lot
you said, oh, Break NG. Ooh, that's a name right here. Break NG. Those guys they cover a lot of stuff. Up and Comers was good. That was a good event too. Up and Comer was a good event too. Rock Lobster was at that one.
Exhibition battles with ex crewmates that have beef. Yo, I remember Trigonometry when Roland and Natron remember how they were like headhunters and then they split up and then they made an extra bow with them. I was so hyped to watch that battle because it was one of my first times on the West Coast because I got flown out to do that Trigonometry. And I remember like I grew up like watching like Roland and like Natron always battling together, and then they put him in like Frankie put them in one of the expo spots. I was like, this could be juicy. Like this.
See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily that dude, but I sound like if you know what I mean. If anything, again, I would like you could be DJ Academics when it comes to this like juiciness of like breaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you could be academic, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not necessarily in that, but I think like the way you're even talking, I'm like, word. I can watch Donkey talk like this.
Yeah. It's more so of like I don't know. Like I understand like the whole beef premise of like the culture, like this guy has beef with this guy, like growing up with like the freestyle session like forums and like
there you go.
Yeah, like
there you go.
Reading,
there you go.
Basically the forums back in the day were like what the discords are today, like they're just live forums basically, and going on them forums and like reading shit between like you hear this guy's talking shit on this guy, you're like, yo, the next time they see each other, it's gonna be a dope battle because they're gonna be heated at each other. Like that shit used to be super hype. I know people still do that today in the discords. Like I know people talk about tea all the time.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing though too. It's like I'm just not that dude. You know what I mean?
And it's fine. I
hear about it. I hear about it. I don't talk about it. You know,
I definitely understand how people aren't really, how people aren't interested in it. And honestly, I totally get it, and there's people that don't like 90 Day Fiance. Sometimes I like to watch that shit though.
Yo, that's dope though. Yo, you know what? That's dope though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And see, that's what I'm saying. It's already like you talking like that. It's already like we're all offering different things, even though we all react to videos. We're all offering different perspectives. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we might need to like do a super one, like a super group podcast, you, me, Smurf, and Focus just react to one video and see what happens or something like that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
And that's another thing, man. I'm always down for like just randomly doing shit. Like I have no like cares in the world of like, you know, about like who I'm doing it, what I'm saying about what. Like I'm usually pretty honest with anything I'm gonna say. Like I never mean to hate on somebody unless you're like you give me a reason to.
Yeah.
But like most of the time, like, dude, if I'm giving criticism, it's criticism to help. Like it's not meant to be taken as like, yo, you suck. Like I'll never. There's not one person that's like battling 99% of the time where I'm like, yo, this dude sucks. Why am I even like faking saying this guy's like kind of good? Like I have no reason to do that. What are they gonna do? Come to my fucking house and battle me in my bedroom? Like
they're gonna talk to you about in Discord and in the chat.
Yeah, dude, I've had people send me unhinged messages like in my like Instagram, like
really for reacting.
Not just reacting, but like posting something on Instagram, like calling somebody, like calling people out about like, yo, this move was already done. Post this clip up, right? Like that whole bite break base thing. Like yo, I posted one up, and it was like the worst idea ever because some fan hit me up or close friend of theirs hit me up and like unhinged on me. I was like, yo, I never said this person sucked. I just said that move is obviously done way before that. And then they're like, well, they were trying to say the move wasn't even like the move that I was talking. I was like, dude, why are you even like, is this going anywhere? Like, or am I just like wasting time? And then they were like, I'm going to let him know. I was like, go on. And then they're like, I'm just letting you know, I let him know. It's like, let me guess, he didn't give a shit. And they're like, well, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, exactly. Like, I don't understand why people are so, I don't know. It's a lot of touchy-feelies what people get into sometimes. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, maybe I should hold my tongue, but then I'm like, nah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, oh man, I'm telling you, bro. Recently, you know, this is just, I said this backstage, but I say like just because I put a damn yellow text on like videos now, it's like all of a sudden people are paying attention. I've been saying the same things for the last 15 years, yeah, just because I put a yellow text.
Yep. One little thing could throw you straight out the window.
Yeah, but it's cool too because like, you know, like I have fun doing it, and that's what we talked about. Like obviously we're not doing it because we're getting paid right now. You know what I mean? We're doing it because we love it. We just, you know, I think it's dope that I think it's, you know, this is one thing that I think most streamers and people that are on YouTube and Twitch now are talking about is like, you know, not being so on the grind of like, I have to be on, because the consistency is so good because, you know, that's what captures people is the consistency. But taking a break, and the fact that you took a break, I think that's I applaud you for that because it's not easy sometimes.
Yeah,
you know, because you want to like keep up the hype train, right?
Yeah,
keep the momentum.
I want to give a schedule for people to be like, hey guys, every, you know, Sunday or every like 3 days I'm gonna be online. But it's like, you know, priorities take over. Like I have a job, you know, like my girl will kick my ass if like we have something planned and I'm like, whoops, totally forgot about that. But yeah,
we have a live after the react about Red Bull. Like,
you know, sometimes I say that and I'm like, ah, man, I sound so bad right now. Because my girl will even like see like some of the comments or like what people are talking about sometimes, and she's just like, why are these two old dudes like arguing with like these little kids? And I'm like, you got me, but
bro.
Oh, MF My Crow in my chat. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly or not, but he said the battle for Tells and Marlin is going to be out tomorrow at 9 a.m. CST on the Ritual Warfare channel. Oh,
dope! All right, there you go, cool. Ladies and gentlemen. If you want to check it out, definitely go check that out. Yeah, is that for free too, or is it?
I don't know. Is that for free? If you're still in the chat, I saw you type this out. I'm literally just looking at it now. My bad. But yeah, man, I don't know. I like to like just cut like right now. Like this is what I like to do. I like to just talk about breaking and like have a good time. Like oh, he said yeah, it should be free actually. So
okay, cool, dope.
But yeah, I think like this needs to happen like more often as well. It's like for people to join in the chat to like talk and like kind of just communicate about like anything that's happening. Like I made a video the other week talking about like how people need to talk about biting, because if you don't talk about biting and like continue to let all these people get away with taking moves, then it's just being enabled, and it's going to let everybody just take everything without a second thought, you know? And people might think it's like disrespectful to like call somebody a biter, but it's also some disrespectful shit to like let them get away with something that somebody already created and like not sticking up for that person either. So it's like, I think it goes both ways of like, I understand the toxicity in breaking, but I don't think you should be taking something away from breaking that makes it part of the, like, calling people biters and calling people out for doing their own art is like part of the culture. Like you take that away and you're taking part of the culture away that like that lets people create. Because at that point, what's the point of creating if anybody can do any move that's already done? You know what I mean?
Right. I hear.
But yeah.
I mean, you know, like if there's a way to, the problem is too, is that, you know, again, we're coming from a generation that there's so much, like, I literally made a video of the Bay Area, and that took me like a few hours to put together because I'm literally digging through like 1991, 1992, and like 1993, and you know, it took a while, and it's like, and I'm old. Like, if I'm 11 or 10, I don't, I you know, and I'm like, I made up this thing, and it's like, well, actually,
and I totally understand from that aspect of like, yo, like, there's gonna be coincidences, right? Like, some moves are just not that hard to think of. Like, I know, like, jumping all the way in the air and landing on your shoulder, you know, like everyone knows Mike the Cure like was the first. Well, I mean, like for me, like Mike the Cure was the first guy to do it. Is there a possibility that somebody thought about jumping straight up in the air and landing on your shoulder? There is, because it's not that hard to think about. But I think it's the whole respect aspect of it, where I created something, but somebody created it before me. So I know that I should respect that person that created before me. I should take that move, flip it, make it my own, so it's different as a respect concept of it. And I think a lot of people are just more about, oh, like everybody does it, so I do it. Like that's not the mentality to have. Like I said, like we were all about not looking like somebody, and today it's about it's okay to look like somebody. Like it's okay, they do it, so I can do it too. But back then,
I think it's a lot. It has to do with there's so much stuff out there, and no one's curating anything. I think, and then what's winning what? Exactly. Not knowing that person probably was mentored by someone. And that's why that sometimes moves are passed, right, from crew to crew, even though that doesn't exist no more. Like
that's a whole nother show we can talk about.
Yeah. But you know, because usually it's like that. It's got a kind of a style or a move is passed down. Through lineage, you know what I'm saying? And they flip it, and then they might be winning now. And then the kid goes, yeah, you know what I mean? I want to do it too, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely understand that too. But it comes down to like again, like it's like that's completely fine if the moves are passed down. I mean, even Caveman with like his like what are they called, jumping beans, the shoulder.
Jumping beans,
like he allows that. He's like, yeah, I want people to like use it. Like that's cool if people use it. It's totally fine, which is like completely cool. So like you'll never probably hear somebody be like, yo man, you're a biter, like for it, because, and if you do, then explain to him like, yo, you can't say really a bite because Caveman gave the, you know, the go ahead to like go ahead and use that. But it's like when you don't know, like when it's somebody's signature move and they're like, yo, I don't want anybody doing this move. And you're like, well, yeah, this guy's doing it. And it's like, well, when they get pissed off, like you can't be mad or anything about it. Like you got to understand, like just moves were done before you sometimes. Like,
I said something. I had a lecture with the youth breaking conference last month, and I led the lecture. I did a lecture for 12-year-olds, right? And they actually listened to me. I was like, whoa, weird.
That's rare.
I thought they're gonna be like, they're gonna be jumping around. They're gonna be like bored as shit. But actually, they actually listened. I actually led the lecture saying, if you know your history, then you could be original because you know everything that happened before you.
Yeah,
and that way you can create from that.
It is legit. Yeah. Whenever I like think about people like watching like or like just people trying to get like out of the mindset of like they want to create something, like, yo, go watch some footage from like the early, like 90s, like anywhere in the 90s. Like people are creating stuff. All you got to do is just take it and flip it. Like there's so much stuff that nobody has even touched yet that I still see today that I'm like, yo, if you really want to, I could probably like create like I don't know. I could go on a creating binge if I really wanted to for like a month and have like, I don't know how much new shit, but like, there's so much stuff to play from the old footage that nobody watches. It's just like, it's just wasted potential right now. Like, I wish people just watch some more like older footage just to get some ideas.
That's why I'm just trying to get my power at 48 because it's like, man, I was doing it. Maybe if I could do it, maybe if I could do the things I thought of back then. I don't know how good I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try, right? And then that's why it's like, and that's my relationship with Ark and Hijack. Hey, try this. And they'll be like this. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. and then they were actually the ones that were like, why don't you try Pro? I'm like, you're right, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hijack and Ark, you know what I'm saying? Because like they gave we that's another thing we don't see. We don't see really the older generation playing with the younger generation and just even showing up. Like, you know what I mean? Just go to a jam and pay for it. And just cipher and just get down and have a conversation. Like you mentioned PROFOWON. PROFOWON is like that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He'll like get down with you. He'll actually like, he won't just like wait for my judges showcase. No, he'll actually like cipher with you. He'll like dance with you and like, you know, and build and like, hey, try this or whatever. And I think that's another thing that's not happening also.
Yeah. And I fully agree as well. And I think like, I mean, there's been times where people tell me like, oh, like, you know, the reason why there's like a lack of like creativity or something right now is like because your generation like wasn't teaching correctly or something. And I'm just like, you can't say that about everybody because honestly, within my time of traveling and doing workshops and teaching at schools and teaching like at practices, like, yo, I've always preached the same exact thing. Like from this day to when I was like, I've never changed it. I've always talked about creativity. Make sure you're original. You don't want to look like anybody. You want a silhouette style. You want to look like, you know, by yourself. Like, I can talk as much as I can. It's up to them to listen to me or not. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like,
that's true, man.
But again, like going and like chilling with like people, I think being part of the community is a big thing to get that. Get that like respect from them to be like, all right, maybe I'll listen to you, or you know.
You don't want to argue in comments.
Yeah. You want to go in the comment section because like we can
roll. Don't you think that's gonna be more productive?
Yeah, we can definitely roll if you want to go that way. But yo, actually, it's crazy because Ark and Hijack, man. Like I remember, when I was out
in Hawaii, we were on Hawaii,
dude.
We're all together.
Yeah.
2012,
Like I just saw them at BC1 this past week or a few weeks ago, and I was like, dude, man, like it's crazy to see you guys like. This is where you're at now, you know. Like I remember, like battling you guys, like for the expo in Hawaii, like to see.
And Ark had a banana suit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ark. Ooh, that came back to him really hard.
Yeah, somebody find that footage, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I might make a video.
But like, yeah, but seeing them guys like from where they were then and like where they are now, man, it's like, I'm happy to see that, like. I'm happy to see like that generation of like where they're at right now. Like Hijack was like next level in that BC1. Like Ark was like, I think Ark and Hijack, this is, I mean, we could talk about this like this is a whole nother show, but like the meta of music right now of like, you know, and I don't mean at that BC1, I just mean in like BC1 or like, you know, Olympic events of like, everybody knowing that accent of a song and doing like a handstand, everybody doing that accent and doing a normal baby freeze, right? That's easy. That's like normal preschool. That's the first thing I teach kids. Like whenever I teach, it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna count 5, 6, 7, 8, freeze,
and 1.
Yeah. So it's like that's like what we teach first. Hijack and Ark were like, you can tell they're dancing more than just the accent. Like it's everything. It's more than just the accent of the music. It's the vocals. It's the horns. It's the piano. It's more than just that. And I don't think enough people realize that dancing is more than just the accents. So you keep hearing people saying like, yo, man, he's dancing, man. He's dancing. Like, he's not dancing. He's just hitting the accent of a song, which is the easiest thing to fucking do. And not only are you doing it like the easiest way, but you're doing the easiest moves possible. So when I'm not making noise off of it, people are like, yo, man, come on. That's crazy. How come I'm not saying it? Was literally in my head, like, it's basic. You know, it's like basic stuff to do. Like Fleg was talking to me after the event, and there's people in that main BC1 chat that were like talking shit on some of the music he was playing. And, you know, one thing Fleg was saying was like, all right, well, first of all, like people can talk shit all they want right now, but as soon as they see their favorite B-boy killing this song, they're going to be
asking then it becomes their favorite. Yeah,
exactly.
100,
so that's one thing.
100,
and two, he was talking about
100.
like, he wants to change the meta up from that basic like accent of a song. He wants to give people like more music
that's dope.
to
That's
dance
good to hear.
Yeah, and
that's good.
I was
that's
like, dude, this is like game changer because like it will really show on who's dancing and who's not dancing. You know what I mean? Like you can put some music will totally change the way some of these like bigger b-boys are. Like when they don't have an accent to play with, how are they going to dance to that song? You know what I mean? So like Flag going in this route, I was like, dude, man, I'm fully with it. Like I don't care how weird of music. And also he was saying like, there's another point which I totally agree with him with is like, if you gave somebody on the street a song from BC1, they can't do anything with it besides breakdance, besides breaking. Like, he wants to like give good music to dance to.
Like
anybody
music
can
to
dance
music.
To. Exactly.
Yeah, music for music, not for the breaking. Right.
Yeah. So like
that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Totally
I like to hear
with it, man. Because like that whole like, accent song, handstand,
pots and pans,
like, honestly, with Yaks, with Scheme, Fox, and like Flag recently, I've been honestly enjoying watching the jams 10 times more because of the music. Like, it's not the same old BC1 music that I've been hearing for the past 10 years now straight. It's new music or it's old music that they're bringing back, like that you haven't heard. Like, so I don't know. I'm happy with it right now. You know what I mean?
Oh man, hell yeah. Well, we're about an hour 30 in. You know what I mean? So I just wanted, before we wrap it up, is there anything you want to say to the audience out there? All 11 people. Wow, 11.
What?
I got
11. Nah, I think I'm just happy that everybody's watching right now and chilling. I mean, if you guys are on my live stream, I do the same thing every time. I just like to come on and chill and like talk with everybody, hear people's feedbacks, and that's it. I don't try to push my agenda on anybody. Just letting you guys know.
Word. All right. I think after this conversation, I think I'm really inspired to be like, man, we need all the podcaster in the breaking scene to come together, just like, because like I said, I did it with Focus. So that's another one. Focus, you, Smurf, myself. That's 4 so far. I think we should just like, maybe join up and team up and do something just cause, you know what I mean? Just to reach out to like expand everyone's networks and stuff like that. And because we all care about this thing and we all have a voice, right? Like that's the main thing, right? Most of it's just reacting and giving our opinion. I think that's going to be a thing that we need to, instead of be like, and there's no hate. I make fun of Smurf sometimes just on some whatever, but it's not been like where it's like, cause I'm happy when he's doing his thing. You know what I mean? Because again, there's not a lot of us out here doing it. So
yeah. I mean, I watch if usually when I'm on my like bike rides or and shit in the morning, like, yo, I'll put Smurf. If Smurf did a podcast recently, I'll put it on and just listen to it. It's
Word. Like, yeah, same.
Like,
same.
Yeah, it's
same.
like I like to listen. Listening to breaking shit for me personally is like it makes my time fly by. So like,
cool.
Yeah, it's always good.
Hell yeah. All right, you can find Dom Key on Instagram, right? Is this right? Did I write it down right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. And then the Twitch, right? I just put the Twitch on the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, cool. So, yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah. So check out Dom Key's Twitch. Again, you're like one of the only guys there too, right? That's the one thing. I don't think there's anyone else.
I don't think anybody besides Joey.
Word.
Nah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But they ain't doing what you're doing though.
Yeah, I mean,
he ain't doing what you're doing.
There might be. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you guys and you're listening right now and you're mad at me, but if you are, put your name in the chat. There you go. Here's your time.
There you go. There you go.
Promote yourself. But yeah, man, I do appreciate you for having me on. Like, I'm always like, I know the first time we tried to do this, I got COVID, and then
you never told me why you didn't go on.
Oh yeah, I had COVID.
Oh, you got COVID. Oh,
and
okay.
Then by the time it was like getting back into it, I think that's when I was taking my break. I was like, dude, I'm burned out from breaking.
Okay. That's cool.
Packed all my shit up.
That's cool.
But I do appreciate you for having me on and everything. Like, I think
thanks for having me on your Twitch too. Like,
for sure. Yeah, we all YouTube, should like kind of stick together because we're a little crew.
We're small.
Crew ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, we're small. So I might put out a chat myself.
Oh, Static.
Like, all right, let's.
My bad.
You know what I mean?
Static. Yeah, Static as well. Also does.
Oh, shout out Static.
Yeah, my bad.
Wait, Static from
New York.
Is Static?
I don't know.
Sounds super familiar. Shout out to Wilson, man.
Yeah, Wilson, what up, yo?
This guy's been on podcasts too. I think he's the youngest guy that listens to all our podcasts.
Actually, I think so. I think Wilson's been one of my longest listeners ever, and he's like the youngest.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, right?
Wilson, I always
he was on
man.
Focuses, so like, yeah. Now shout out to Wilson, man.
Yeah, I appreciate. You know what? To be honest, most of the new gen kids are like all super chill. Like,
right.
I know it can be kind of deceiving sometimes when you try to talk to like an older b-boy and they give you like the cold shoulder, but I mean, me and Profo, definitely me, I'm always welcoming of like new people. Like, if you guys ever have questions or anything, like I'm always open to like help you guys out like with anything. Like, I just had I think I actually talked to C's the other day, like just talking to him about like some breaking shit. Like, yo, I'll always like help out with people and like give my advice on like the best way I can. Like,
same, man.
Yeah,
it's funny because I mean, maybe I'm not as approachable, but I'm not. That's just me being me, and don't take it personal. I'm in thought.
Think that, fuck this.
I'm in thought, guys. It's not mean mugging. I'm just in thought. I'm in meditation. But if you talk about breaking, you'll see my whole demeanor will change. It's just like, how do you do this? I'll be like, oh, well, anyway, that's when it changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, C's, you didn't holler at me about training either. So there, I put you on blast online.
Hell yeah, C's.
C's, talk about which you said, hey, pro, I'm going to holler at you about training. Oh, you never did. So there you go. Now I'm putting you on blast, sir. All right, man. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone on the chat. Shout out to everyone tuning in. Thanks for watching. And you can follow me at Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been The Trades with B-Boy Domkey.
Whoa.
And we're going to no soundboard. Don DeMarco. Some Twitch humor right there. Some streaming humor right there.
Horrible.
Let's rewind.
Hell yeah!
You got wait, real quick.
Some
nerdy
soundboard shit.
I know. Just on some nerdy shit. Do you have OBS? What do you stream on?
Yeah, OBS is what I stream on.
Okay, word. All right,
yeah,
I'm cheap. I'm still on StreamYard.
It's all right. I'm in and out of OBS sometimes because like they charge a monthly fee sometimes if you want like new shit, and I'm like, I don't need new shit.
I like this. Wait, real quick before we sign up. I like this last one because if you notice, I barely interact with the chat. I more do interview and just get to the guest. I like this question real quick. Name your top 5.
Top 5, like this generation, like new, like that's still competing. Is that what we're talking about?
How about your just of all time?
Oh, dude, that's too hard. Like I told you earlier.
Oh, see, he said all time. I'm thinking Nostradamus, man.
No, I don't know, man. I don't have like a top 5 of all time. I know it's like a cheat.
Okay, how about this? Let's do this. I will go top 1 of each time period. So I'll name it. Late 90s, 2000s. Go.
Late 90s, 2000, like early 2000s?
Yeah, early 2000s. Not yeah. Early, like, okay, let's just say late 90s. Just late 90s. Number 1.
Late 90s. I was a big I can't say like the top, but I'll say like I was a big fan of Robzilla. I liked Robzilla.
Yeah, shoot. Okay, we're talking. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 2000 to 2005.
Abstract.
Ooh, good call, bro. Dude, you're out like you're that spectrum. We're talking spectrum right there. All right, 2005 to 2010. Because you went abstract, that's 2005, right? So
it's hard to say because like this is when I'm competing, so like I don't know who like my top would be.
You're like me.
Myself. Like me. No, I don't. Shit, I don't know.
Come on, just a name where you're just
I'm trying to think of like what was going on 2005 to 2010. What's some of the
2005 2010 Korea started coming up, so Born Physics.
Oh dude, I'll say physics, to be honest. Like,
okay,
he's one big name that I was like, nobody's beating this dude because he was when
that time
when he was like the all white Nike suits and
he was
next level. I don't but this is just
that was at France battle. That was at France battle, right?
Dude,
he was in France.
He battled Lilu and he battled Junior and Smoke Fest.
Okay. So we have Robzilla, dude. You're spectrum, bro. You're across the spectrum of breaking.
These are just guys that are like popping in my head that it's like,
but that's dope though.
I really remembered. Yeah.
But that's dope because you're not stuck on one style. You're like, Robzilla, abstract physics. Okay. So I said 2005 to 2010. Okay, 2010 to 2015.
Man, this is also breaking period time.
Yeah.
Eh,
Because we're looking at 2012. We're looking
well,
at
now it's probably like
2013.
more international and like somebody I
No,
always,
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
somebody
Yeah.
I always talked about that's like really underrated that didn't really get a lot of shine is Zip Rock from Russia, I think it is. Zip
Oh,
Rock.
word.
Zip Rock is if you guys don't know who Zip Rock is,
There you go.
go look this dude up. He's super nasty. A lot of
Okay.
original ideas. And again, like guys, I'm just naming off the top of my head. There's a lot more people.
That's how it
I don't
goes.
want to say
That's
like
how we do it.
K-Mel.
This is
like,
quick time with
you guys all
We're
know
quick time with
K-Mel is
slime.
like it's just, yeah. Okay.
That's dope. And then last one. Okay, so we said 2010, 2015, 2015 to now.
I'm gonna say so. Some of the people that I really like, I'll name one is Stripes. I think Stripes right now, I think a lot of people.
He's the foundation at this point.
Dude, I think people
at this point
made a meta from him. Like I think
100.
people took a lot of his like
100.
shit, and not only Stripes, but like the flip side and like
Mhm.
the what the guy's called in Canada?
My 180.
My 180. Sweet Technique guys.
Sweet Technique.
Yeah. Like them
shout out to-
guys, like that whole like squad of like that circle of people. Like I think a lot of people are like ride off of that like movement that a lot of them guys do, and shout out to them guys. Like
man.
for real.
Man.
Like I can see it in a lot, you know.
And that's
like,
dope because like at the time with the Jacksonville kids, it was Kevo that was getting more shine at that period.
Yep.
And then you know, even though Stripes was there, he was present, but he kind of like later in his career is when he has this like massive influence.
Dude, I remember watching footage of him busting power, like almost as good as Kevo was doing it at the watching like practice videos of them. So I don't know how, but some kid from Florida, I forget his name. It was a long time ago. Was just like, I practice with Main Ingredients. It's like, what? He's like, here's some footage, and he would send me like practice videos of like them in like living rooms, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. These guys are like next level like type shit. But Stripes has always been like, he's always been there, but not like in that limelight like that Kevo was
now
in.
He is.
Yeah, I'm glad he's like people like recognize him now because like he's always been super ill.
Yeah, hell yeah. There you go, man. There you have it. That was a real last question from Dalai Lama. Damn. You're enlightened, bro. That was an enlightening question.
Yeah.
All right. Again.
And like what he's saying, like, yeah, all these people like Remind and like Rocks Right, dude, they were all huge inspirations to me. Like we're just keeping it short right now.
Yeah. But I liked what you were saying too, though, because he said, okay, Dalai Lama says Kenny or Legs. Yeah, but see what I did, because he didn't have a top 5, I just said, well, let's just take your best picks from each.
If I had to pick, Kenny.
Kenny or Legs? Okay.
Yeah, I would say Kenny.
Okay, word. I'm partial, man. I like both. Not for their actions.
I know. You know what?
Not for their actions.
Good response.
For their breaking. For their breaking.
Good response.
Not their actions.
But I see what you're saying on like, I mean, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Kenny.
Right. Yeah. No.
I talk.
So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
I talked more with Kenny, I think. So
Word,
a little bit more.
I think all of us do.
I know you're probably before like 2019-ish times, but
yeah. All right. Again. Okay, now we're signing off for real.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Again, this has been The Trades, and you can find Domkey on IG, at DomkeyLOZ on Instagram, and again, myself on Instagram, PROFO_FLGZ. This has been The Trades with B-Boy Domkey.
Woo!
Let's keep it going. Peace.
Bye.
And see you guys later. All right. See you next week.
Yeah. See you.